Hey everyone, Eggman here. As you can probably tell by the cards in front of me and probably the video description and title, I've really been playing the Dragon Ball Super card game. It's a new card game that a friend hit me up, told me to play it with him, and I've just sunk a lot of money in it. Last week at my locals I placed second with this deck, and I haven't really seen a lot of people play it. I haven't really seen anyone play Son Goku, and I decided just to make a little deck profile for it. So I'm not sure if this is a completely new deck or anything like that, but I wanted to share it with you guys. So right off the bat, we've got Son Goku, our leader, and what he does is he looks up the top 10 cards of the deck and he chooses one Balma, and you get to add it to your hand. And then when you awaken with 4 or less, you get to switch 2 of your energy to active mode. And then when he is awakened, on this side, you get to choose one of your cards, set it to rest mode, choose one of your opponent's card, set that to rest mode, and then choose one of your opponent's rest mode cards, and you can't untap during active mode, or they can't untap it next turn essentially. And then when it attack, you draw a card. So very very unique. Both sides kind of do something different. The front side adds Balmas to your hand, and then the back side puts stuff in rest mode. And in a really weird way too, right? It doesn't. It's really flexible, so you can put one card into rest mode, and another card they already have in rest mode stays rest mode. So usually that has people read once or twice over. All right, so let's go back to this side. So you get to add Balmas to your hand, and so what Balmas do we have? We have the Youthful Balma, just a 1-drop yellow. When you play it, you draw a card. Very simple. Nothing too crazy, but something you can add to your hand. And then there's the other one, which is the promo, which is the Perfect Support Bulma, which when you play this card, you choose one of your opponent's cards with an energy of 3 or less, and you set it to rest mode. So nothing too strong there, and when you're awakened, you pretty much have that effect anyways. The main point that we put this card in our deck, it's just consistency of getting cards in our hand, and card advantage is always a good thing. So right now I'm running 4 of the Youthful Bulma and 3 of the Perfect Support. When I originally built this deck, I only had 3, so I just made it with 3. If you can run with 8 if you want to be more consistent. You can run with 6 and make it a little bit less consistent, but you can get better cards in your deck. I wouldn't run it any less than 6. 7's kind of already questionable, so that. And then also we've got some other 1-drops. We've got Pint Size Son Goku. This is just it searches the top 7 for another GT Goku, which we have 4, another 4, and 2 more over here. So we have 10 plus 3, 13 other targets with the first one. So a lot of Gokus, you're going to hit it pretty often. And then also we run red in our deck, so of course we play Kaba. You should know what this card does. It pretty much awakens you, it does damage to your opponent, it's 1 energy, it's a super good card. And then we also have our 1 energy. We have Planet Vegeta, which is also just a busted card. You get to, for 1 energy, you get to search your deck for any Saiyan that is costing 4 or less. So you can get your super combo, you can get Explosive Spirit Son Goku, you can get Determined Super Saiyan Goku, which is the combo to get to our win condition, and you can even get Time Patrol Trunks, which can then draw you even more cards for free. And even if you need awakening targets, like if you're at 5 life and you want 1 less life, you can get one of these guys and they can get you there. And then lastly, Flying Nimbus, the only other extra card we have. This is probably like the best negate in the game. You play this card, you negate the attack, and then they can only attack with battle cards once more turn this game. Or not this game, once more time this turn. And you always have yellow cards in your hand, because if you're always searching Bulmas, you'll have a Bulma in your hand most likely. It's and it's just very easy to pull off. So make sure you can solve to your combo turn. Very good. Next up, we have, I'll just, Shugesh and Explosive Spirit Son Goku. Like, Shugesh is probably the best super combo in the game. You can summon most of your deck. You can get this guy off to make your, start your combo off with 0 energy. You can get this guy, which, the combo, the infamous combo. You can also get kind of a sneaky one. You can get this guy, I'll talk about him later, but you can get this guy out and get kind of like a surprise lethal on your opponent. And just a super good card, sets up your combos, good for defense. You want to run 4. And then also, as I kind of said, he's good. He's either, it's a 2-card combo to stop anything besides a barrier or a leader card from attacking. Then it gets on the field. It has synergy with your Awakened Leader because you can tap him to make one of your opponent's cards, and it comes untapped at the end of your turn. So very strong there. And then let's go into the combo really. So you have this Goku. If you have 4 or less life, he counts as a 5-drop, and then this one it's an EX Evolve. It's 1 red and 1 card from your hand, and it gets double strike, and also it has dual attack but better, and it's better for 2 reasons. One, you get plus 5,000 outright, which is just good, and then also you get to untap after the Izor auto, not where dual attack untaps for the end phase. So let's say you attack with this, you tap it, no negates, the attack goes through, you untap it, and then your opponent can't Shugesh Explosive Spirit it because it's still active mode for that first attack. And then the other thing you can do, which is kind of good, is you can EX Evolve this into another one. So you can get 2 safe attacks from Explosive Spirit Son Goku because it just untaps itself when it attacks, and they can't hit it within rest mode. So that's kind of what you do. You just try to burst them with damage at the end with these guys. You have enough energy and enough cards in hand to keep dropping them. And then also, we have Miraculous Comeback Son Gohan. Yeah, sorry, my webcam's not doing a very good job at focusing on these card texts, so that's why I'm mostly going through it. So he usually costs 6 energy with 2 red, but his permanent reads that if you have 3 or less cards in your hand, you can reduce the energy costs in this hand and or battle area by 4. And when it KOs a battle card, inflict 2 damage to your opponent, and it's a 25k double strike. So kind of the cheeky thing you can do with this is you can, let's say you've got just a Shugesh and this in your hand, right? You can use Shugesh. This costs only 2, so Shugesh will be able to summon this. You get it for free, and then also with your leader, or even with a perfect support Bulma, you can just choose one of their just weak, let's say they had this on the field in active mode. Normally, Gohan can't attack that, but if you make them tap it, then he can, and it's a 25k versus the 5k for 2 damage, which is just crazy. A lot of people don't see it coming. They don't play around it, and especially if you do it early, so before they can even combo with cards to begin with. If you do it, that way, you just have an open for a surprise 2 damage to win the game. Other than that, we've got a couple of extra combo cards, so I'll just use these 2. So no opening Son Goku is good because you can get him on the field for 1 mana, and he also helps you awaken. And then there's also what is it? Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku, who when you combo with him, you draw a card. And so they both have their pluses and minuses. I'd say that one of the additional good things about this guy is that you can also search him with pint-sized Son Goku and just keep drawing cards with that. And then just the fact you draw a card with him is good. And then this just helps you awaken. So if you find yourself, I just run 2 of each. If you find yourself that you don't awaken enough, I'd put 2 more in here. Or if you find that you just have little life and you have no reason to tap, then I would add 2 of these, and just depending on how you side. And then lastly, our Overwhelm cards. These are kind of the same bucket as your combo. You kind of build it as you want. I run 2 Time Patrol Trunks and 2 Scientist Fu. Um, and the reason for that is that Time Patrol Trunks can kind of help you scope out your next turns. It's cheaper, and additionally, he can be searched out with Planet Vegeta. So let's say you have enough cards for Overwhelm, and you want this to draw you stuff, then you can use this, and it can help dig into your deck. And then on the flip side, this draws you 2 cards, but it's a little bit harder for you to get out. I wouldn't say that you fill your grave or your discard pile very easily with this deck, so it's a bit harder to get him out, and it's also 1 energy to summon him. So that's why I run 2. Usually they kind of do the same thing, because you look at the top 2 cards of your deck and then you realize one was trash anyways, or you didn't need, so having it with Fu wouldn't have mattered anyways. But once again, it's a 1 energy double strike 25k, which is always a welcome in a deck like this. So last and not least, I'm kind of going to add some honorable mentions to this deck. I also know that this deck is a little bit expensive with like the Scientist Fu, or this promo can be kind of hard to get. So if there's a bit of a budget or anything like that, I will say that. I will say the main part of this deck, you want 4 Shugesh, you want at least 6. You want 7+ is preferred on these guys. Scientist Fu, not needy. If you just have 4 Time Patrol Trunks and that's all you can do, fine. That'll work just as fine. I don't even know if Scientist Fu is the better card. And then also Explosive Spirit Son Goku is he's been going down in price that I've seen. I would say just run as many as you can. I even think that sometimes 4 is too many. People have kind of started being able to play around it. They know that it's in your hand, and I found it kind of stuck in my hand sometimes. So don't be pressured to run 4 if you can only get 3. So cards to think about: putting in an 8th one of these. Let's say you just didn't like having 4 of these. You found you always had 2 in your hand and you couldn't do anything with it. Put a Bulma. That helps with consistency. And I already talked about Time Patrol Trunks and the Fu. Additionally, if you wanted to go more rush and more GT style, you can add some of the rushing Warrior Pan. You could also add some like quick rush Trunks and even a Grand Tour Spaceship. I would say that if you're kind of in that GT rush deck, Son Goku's not maybe the best because he's not a red leader. He is yellow, so you can use Shugesh, but this pan and also this pan, the Fearless Pan, kind of feel a bit lackluster in it just because your leader's not red. You don't get full effect for it. But Fearless Pan's still good because it's a blocker barrier that you can find with you can put with Shugesh, or if you run Grand Tour Spaceship. What else? Oh, if you want, once again, if you want more combos, you can run those. And then I also found that Jiren can kind of be a little bit helpful. People, are afraid of apes, and just having a bunch of blockers and the fact that you have a card that can destroy 2 blockers pretty easily is helpful. I've tried it in my main deck before, and I didn't think it was good in all matchups, especially because you can't cheat them out really easily like most of these other cards. So, that's about it. If you guys have any questions, if you question how the quantities in some of these, mostly I only have 2 Scientist Fu because I didn't have enough originally to, and I really only do own 3 Ultimate Gohans. If I had a 4th one, maybe I'd take out Explosive Spirit. I'd say the wiggle room in this deck is Explosive Spirit and Flying Nimbus. Now that mechas are rotted, I don't know how fast the meta will be. It might be, you might have too much stall cards in your deck to really be effective. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.